Good afternoon. We are continuing with the slope intercept that we were working on before spring break, so we need to refresh our memory on what all of this means, getting us back in the groove. Today we are doing PO55, or as Mr. Schultz says, 55. So I can write an equation in slope intercept form given the graph of the equation. Let me move this up. Now that we've learned how to graph an equation in slope-intercept form, let's practice writing the equation represented by a graph. So instead of them giving us the equation, they're going to give us the graph, and we're going to create the equation. So we need to remember what our slope-intercept form is. Who can tell me what's the slope-intercept form? Caitlin. Y equals mx plus b. Know it, learn it, love it. You will use this equation for years to come. Rosa is in calculus and she is still using this equation. You need to know the equation. Maddie.
It was like on a show we were watching, and it was like, what's the slope-intercept form? And we were over it. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. It is a big deal. So the slope-intercept form, it's on TV shows, it's in movies, it is all around us. You need to know this. Andrea.
I was watching a TikTok, and they were explaining just a funny thing, and they said, so the slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. So I'm like,
Hey, you know that. Yay. Okay, so who remembers what the x is in the slope-intercept form? Ethan.
the x value of any ordered pair.
The x value of any ordered pair on the line. Well, if that's what the x is, what is the y, Katie?
The y value of any ordered pair.
The y value of any ordered pair on the line. What is the m, Colin? It is the slope. Remember, the m is how the line moves across the line. So that's the slope, how we're moving. How many up, how many over, how many down, how many over. So the m is that movement, so it's the slope. What is the b, Paisley? The y-intercept. Remember, that is where we begin. You always begin with that y-intercept, so it's the b for beginning. It is very important that not only do you recognize the term slope-intercept form, that you know y equals mx plus b, you need to know what all the variables stand for. So it's important to know m is the slope, b is the y-intercept, and the x and the y are from the ordered pairs. So it's important to keep those pieces in mind as we're doing this. So just remember that any ordered pair on the line will work in the equation. You just have to plug it in and check. So if you know the slope and you know that y-intercept, any ordered pair will work on, any ordered pair from that line will work in the equation. And it will be y equals, and it will equal what y is. If you plug in the x that goes with the y, it will equal the right thing. So we're going to graph a line using the two ordered pairs. Then we're going to write the equation of each line in slope-intercept form. Show how you've checked your answer. So we're going to go through how this looks. First thing we're going to do is you graph your ordered pair. What can we find once we've graphed the ordered pair? You can find the slope. And if you know the slope, can we figure out where that y-intercept is?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's see how that works. Our first one is 0, 2, and 3, 1. So if x is 0, y is 2. And if it's 3, y is 1. So I graphed my two ordered pairs. Can I figure out the slope? So remember, we always start on the left, work to the right. So I'm going down 1. So if I go down 1, I'm going to put m equals, because that's my slope. If I go down 1, what important thing do I need to remember, Chase?
Put in a negative.
Yeah, it's going to be a negative because I went down. So down 1. And what is my run? How many over do I go, Izzy?
3.
So it'll be negative 1/3 for my slope. So now I need to know what my y-intercept is. Who remembers what the y-intercept means? Nathan?
It's that 0 and something.
Yeah, the x has to be a 0, and then it's wherever that line crosses over the y-axis. So x is 0, and where does the line cross the y-axis? So what is my y-intercept for this one? It's going to be that positive 2. My b is going to be 2 because it's 0, 2. If I were to write the actual y-intercept, we'd write it as that ordered pair, and we would use that 2 where it crosses the y-axis. So my b is 2. So now remember our equation, y equals mx plus b. So if I know my m and I know my b, how do I write that in the y-intercept form? Andrea?
Y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2.
Y equals, I'm going to put in my m, negative 1/3. I'm going to leave the x, and then I'm going to add my b. Y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2. Now remember the directions. It said, show how you've checked your answer. How can we check our answer? Paul?
By plugging in 0.
I have the equation. What do I need to plug into the equation? More than that.
You can check with that one. I forgot.
We've got the m and the b. What do we know about this, that slope-intercept form? Maddie?
Can't you just plug in the y and axis with this?
Remember, any ordered pair on the line will work with this equation. So here's our line, right? I'm going to take an ordered pair, and I'm going to plug it in and see if it equals each other. So I'll do the 0 and the 2. So y is 2 equals negative 1/3 times 0 plus 2. Is that a true equation? Let's do our math. 2 equals negative 1/3 times 0 is 0 plus 2. 2 equals 2. Is that true? Yeah. That's how you check your work. You take one of the ordered pairs and you plug it in. Let's try it with our other ordered pair that they gave us. Let's try it with 3 and 1. So y is 1, negative 1/3 times 3 plus 2. So 1 equals negative 1/3 times 3. What does that get me? What is it? Negative 3 over 3, which is also what? Negative 1. Negative 3 over 3 is the same as saying negative 1 plus 2. What is negative 1 plus 2?
1.
Is this a true equation? 1 equals 1? Yes. So I have the right slope-intercept form. I can use the coordinates they gave, and it works. I could even take a new ordered pair, that I know from my slope, I know negative 3 should work. So let's try that one. Oops. Let's put in our negative 3. So 3 equals negative 1/3 times negative 3 plus 2. So 3 equals negative 1/3 times negative 3. What is that? Negative 1/3 times negative 3 would be a positive 1, because a negative times a negative is a positive, plus 2. 3 equals 3. I can take any ordered pair on this line. I could take 6, 0, and it'll still work. Any ordered pair on that line, you plug it in, and you should get this number equals this number. It should be a true equation. That's how you check to make sure that you have the right slope-intercept form. Easiest way is just to take one of the ordered pairs that they give you, or you could use a new ordered pair following your slope. Any ordered pair on this line, you should get a true equation. So to show your work, you need to plug in an ordered pair into your equation and show that it works. Okay? So our steps, first step, what do we have to do? When we come to our next one, what's our first step, Leah? Plot your ordered pairs. So your first step is to plot the ordered pairs. What's our second step? Caitlin? Find the slope. What's your third step? Maddie?
Then plot your, find your, y-intercept.
Find the y-intercept. Once you know the slope and the y-intercept, you can write your slope-intercept form, and then you must check it. So step 1, plot. Step 2 is your slope. Step 3 is the y-intercept. Step 4 is the equation. Step 5, check it. Don't forget step 5. You need to check your work. Plug in an ordered pair and make sure you get a true equation. How do you guys feel about this? Should we do one more just to make sure? So let's look at this one. If I have a 0, 4, x is 0, y is 4, negative 4, 2. So here is my line. What is my slope? Sam?
2/4, so 1/2.
Yeah, so we go up 1, 2, and then we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can simplify that to a half. Okay, remember, we always want to simplify our slopes. So you can simplify it to a half. What's my next step? Leah? So what is the y-intercept? If we look at where our line crosses the y-axis, it crosses at 4, so our y-intercept is 4. What's my next step? Edward?
Why is it 3 over there? I got 3. It should be 3 over there. What? No.
We're at 0, 4, and then we're at negative 4, 2. So we go up 1, 2, over 1, 2, 3, 4. We only went up 2. Did you graph it at the right spot?
Oh.
Edward, did you see how we got the slope? Okay. Did you see how we got the y-intercept? Okay. Remember, our third step is to put it into the equation. So we leave the y and the x. We need to fill in the m and the b. right? The M and the B. So I need to fill it in with my M and my B that I just found, my slope and my y-intercept. So it would be y equals, my slope is a half, and my y-intercept is 4. So you're just taking that same equation that we've been working with, y equals mx plus b. Slope times the x plus the y-intercept. So just take it that one step at a time, and it starts to fall into place. So that's why we have these problems that we're going to do to make sure that we understand it. Am I done? Am I done with that one?
No.
Why not? Maddie? I have to check it with my ordered pair. So what ordered pair should I check it with? Does it matter? No. So who wants to walk me through which ordered pair to use to check it? Maddie.
So,
I'll tell you right now, one with the 0 is
okay.
easiest to use.
Okay.
So what should I write?
So you should write 4 equals 1/2 0 plus 4.
So I have 4, because that's my y, equals 1/2 times 0, that's my x, plus 4. So now I have to see, is it a true equation? 4 equals, well, 1/2 times 0 is 0, plus 4. 4 equals 4. It is a true equation. Done. I showed my work. I checked it. It works. If you're really still not sure, put in another ordered pair from your line, and it should be a true equation. I'm going to give us time to work on this. And if you have questions, if you're one of my friends that looked at me and went, not quite sure about this, some of us that were gone before spring break, it's been a long time since we worked with that y-intercept form. So if you have questions, we're going to use this as our question time to come up to get help from me or to ask one of your friends. Well, can you walk me through this again? Okay, I'm here. We also have our classmates, but this is a quiet work time. We do have a test coming up next week. Okay, so the test for this will be next week. So you need to be understanding y-intercept form. It's big. People use it as adults. You use it in calculus. This is something we need to understand. So make sure if you're not sure about it, it's okay. We're just learning it. But you have to check in with me. You have to check in with classmates to get help. So if you are listening to this at home, we hope you are well, and we hope to see you soon.